Before this news was revealed, you spent the day in a Dane County courtroom. Of course, a judge there saying he will rule next week on one of 4 lawsuits against the voter ID law.
There are 2 very basic interrelated principles that are at stake here.
Attorneys representing the League of Women Voters are arguing that the state's voter ID law illegally creates a new qualification for residents to vote.
But what you cannot do is to disenfranchise qualified voters. The state, in its zeal to prevent voter fraud, is allowing qualified voters to be disenfranchised, and that really throws out the baby with the bathwater.
But the state claims lawmakers didn't create a new qualification, but are simply regulating elections.
It can regulate elections, for example, by the way it's doing under Act 23 by requiring that a person who is otherwise qualified to vote show that they are the person who they say they are.
Attorneys sparred over whether issuing a decision on the law represents a judgment of its merits.
The photo ID requirement is a policy choice by the legislature. It's not this court's role to second guess that policy determination.
Regarding the legislature's authority to enact a law that imposes an additional qualification on voters that is not permitted by the Constitution. That's not asking the court to make a policy choice.
The League is confident the judge will side with them.
We see very clear language in the state constitution that that makes this law unconstitutional, and so we are looking forward to, we hope, a positive ruling on Monday.
Now, this case would decide whether to permanently block the law from being in effect. Right now, the temporary injunction would stand until after the April 3rd presidential primary, and a trial can be held in a separate case in mid-April. Judge Neese says he will issue a written decision next week.
It can be hard to keep track, but this version of the lawsuit different from the others, right?
And that was one of the issues that the judge was sort of dealing with today. It is arguing the constitutionality on that qualification issue we were talking about, while other laws related to the voter ID are challenging the effects of the law or how easy it is for people to get IDs.
This can be pretty tough to follow. Thanks for breaking it down for us all, Jess. Thanks.